Well, I got my first visit from a CoLArt rep, thanks to Paul Petrino, my SLS rep, and he had the idea of doing a um, little experiment, and that would be to do a painting with student grade paint, the Winsor Newton Galleria, and also the artist grade paint, the same exact painting. And he said that nobody's taken him up on it yet, but it would clearly show the difference in the quality of the paints. So I'm taking him up on it. I've got two canvas panels here, and both of them I use transfer paper to transfer this image of this flower on there. And I'm using four colors, the same exact colors in each line of paint: the sap green, titanium white, yellow ochre, and permanent alizarin crimson in both lines of paints. And I've transferred the image onto the canvas panels and sprayed it with a little fixative so that the transfer paper or the graphite doesn't get into the mixing with the paints. And I'll be painting them both at the same time, using the colors, the same colors at the same time, so that my paintings will be, I'll have it fresh in my mind that it'll be done exactly the same way. So I'll keep you updated. The first phase is done. I have painted the dark layer. Here's the Galleria paints. And then this is the Winsor Newton Artist Grade. This is their new Artist Grade paints. And the wonderful quality about these paints that I really enjoyed was that there was no color shift. It dried the same color that it was when it's wet. And you can even see the quality difference in the Artist Grade and the Student Grade paints on the palette itself. I mean, even though I mixed the sap green in with the alizarin crimson color, you could see how much richer and darker even the green and then the mixture itself is from the Student Grade versus the Artist Grade. The other thing I was told by the CoLArt rep, one of the nice features of this, which we will soon be finding out, is that when you mix a red in the Artist Grade with a white, instead of pink, you get light red, which is kind of interesting. In this case, my reference is kind of pink, so that might work to the advantage of the Galleria in this instance. This is the reference photo, and I am after kind of a pink, but I kept my palette very simple on purpose for this experiment. We only have the yellow ochre, the alizarin crimson permanent, sap green, and titanium white in both. Another nice thing about the Artist Grade paints is they put the paint sample right on the tube of paint itself, and they put it over some black dots and then over the white, so you can see how transparent or opaque it is, which is really nice. So the next phase is going to be our next layer of paint. So let's see how we do. Okay, we're back again, and here we're at the stage where I put down most of the dark shadows with the alizarin crimson and the sap green, and some of the lighter and mid-tones. And next I'm going to be putting down the center of the flower in the background. It just is really obvious even by looking at the Artist and Student Grade paints right out of the tube. We can just look at that. You can see right there the difference. That's the sap green in the Winsor Newton Artist Grade and Student Grade. And then here is the alizarin crimson. I don't know if you can see that very well on the video, but I mean, just look at the richness of the Artist Grade paint. And I've been using these brushes, by the way, that they gave me for this demo, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think the pack of all these brushes is only like $20. It's an amazing deal. Anyway, this video, by the way, is dedicated to Eric Malquist. I'm probably ruining the pronunciation of his name, because he's the one who came up with the idea. He's the CoLArt rep that came up with the idea of doing an artist grade and student grade painting, the same exact painting, with the artist grade, student grade paints. And it's just working with the artist grade paints has been such a pleasure. I mean, you get used to the fact that there's no color shift immediately, and then you get spoiled, and then you go back to working with the student grade paints and have to remember that there's a color shift. Also, just because of the fact that there's no color shift, these colors are just so much more brighter and intense than the student grade paints. So, all right, on to the last layer. Okay, this is the conclusion of the artist grade versus student grade paintings. We are finished here, and I think it's pretty obvious which is the artist grade and which is the student grade. We will see tomorrow. Rachel's demo is going to take place tomorrow with the new artist grade paints, and we'll see what the people who come to the demo think, if they can easily pick out the artist and the student grade. And my thanks again for the suggestion to Eric and Paul. I think this was a great idea. It really demonstrates, the difference and how the right paint and the quality paint can make all the difference in the world. I enjoyed working with the paints. Thank you again.